You know what? If I had the severed head of Medusa, I would probably also use it to solve all my problems. We left off and Perseus, our hero, has slayed Medusa, took her head, rescued the Ethiopian princess Andromeda, and married her. Now he's on his way back to Seriphos, where his mum is. But if you remember, Polydectes, the king of Seriphos, has, a big old crush on Perseus's mother. But when Perseus got back to Seriphos, he learned that Polydectes had made violent, sexual advances on Danae, his mother. So she was like legit hiding from him. So Perseus is like, absolutely not. He grabs the severed head of Medusa and he goes, BAM! You turn to stone now, to Polydectes, and he turned into stone. Got a problem? Bam! Medusa's head, you're a stone now. But Polydectes had a brother, right, called Dictys, and he was like, oh yeah, no, he's good, he's chill, he can stay. Don't forget, Perseus got a couple of things loaned out to him from the gods, things to help him, succeed and kill the Gorgon. He returns the sword, the invisibility cloak, and the shield that Athena gave him. And Perseus also gave Athena the head of Medusa, which, got incorporated onto her shield. So you sometimes see artistic representations of Athena with the shield with the Gorgon's head on it. And that's all well and good, like cute story, end of the story, right? Well, if you remember, Seriphos was not the original home of Perseus and his mother Danae. Danae's father cast them out to sea in a box because of the prophecy that, his grandson would one day overthrow him and unalive him. There are a couple of different versions about how this happens. In some of them, he goes back to his homeland or he goes to another island where his grandfather just happens to be, the king of Argos. And in a few versions, Perseus is either throwing a discus or some other kind of ancient Greek Olympic game and accidentally gets his grandfather in the head with the discus, killing him. In another version, he goes back to his homeland and his grandfather, who's the king, doesn't believe that he really slayed Medusa the Gorgon. So obviously Perseus had to prove a point, right? And he's like, BAM! Medusa head, I wasn't lying. And then this, turns him to stone. Now, whether Perseus intended to kill his grandfather or not, there are still consequences for this, right? And Perseus has to go into voluntary exile and leave. So he makes his first cousin the king of Argos. So, unable to stay in his ancestral home, he decides to found a new city called Mycenae. In some versions, he decides on where this place will be because he sees a mushroom.